Hello, everyone. We are live. Sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit. And welcome to the weekly show of Classroom Without Walls, using technology to reimagine education. My name is I am the host of this weekly Facebook Live show. I created this show because I believe our society has changed a lot. Social media and the technology play a huge role in our changing society. As educators, we need to change how we teach and how we interact with the next generation. On this show, I interview leading professionals and educators like Jacqueline Rose to discuss topics related to social media, technology, education, and change. If you are new to the show, I saw someone is here. If you are new to the show, thank you so much for joining us live. If you are a returning attendee, you know how much I appreciate you and how much I love you. Hi, Antonius from Grace. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you are watching this on replay, thank you, future people. Today, I'm so honored to have Jacqueline Rose join us live from Texas to discuss using technology to reimagine education. Jacqueline is an education technology specialist. She's also an education coach. She's all over the place on social media. She is an amazing digital storyteller. And she is also a recipient of more than 10 professional certifications, including Google certification. Jacqueline, we are so honored to have you join us live and talking about one of my favorite topics, using technology to reimagine education. Thank you so much and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Do you want to add anything to my very, very brief introduction of you?
No, I think I'm gonna leave it as it is. I think you nailed it.
Awesome. For the live audience, and if you can tell us where you join us from, that will be greatly appreciated. And I always enjoy watching the global community we have here. That makes me feel like just how amazing technology is, bringing all of us together from different parts of the globe. Hey, Jim, thank you for coming here. I'm just going to get started with the questions. And like what we did last time, I'm going to pin the Be Live link in the comment section. I highly encourage you to click on the link and join us live.
Yes.
Yes.
And I see some people. Hi, Jenny and Kathy and Tatul. Hey, guys. Thanks, y'all, for popping in. Fred.
Yes. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. So I just pinned the Be Live link. Okay. So even if you don't have a question, just want to say hi to us or to the amazing Jacqueline, please click on the Be Live link and come join us. And we are going to transform this into a panel and to co-create content here.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. So you are, as I introduced you earlier, Jacqueline, you are such an advocate of education technology. You walk the talk. I love how you are using social media, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram to share your stories and to document your journey. I want to ask you, what inspired you to take on this journey?
I kind of stumbled into it on accident. I was teaching, I was in the classroom, and I realized, hey, Casey, and that's someone that actually I used to teach with, hey, and they're at Camp Grady Spruce right now. Shout out to 5th grade there. So I used to teach, and I had an amazing group of students. I started in 2nd and did 3rd and 5th, and then I just kind of let them guide their learning. I had an amazing administrator, Jenny Morris, who trusted me, which goes so far when it comes to not only the environment and just the climate of work that you get from your staff, but also the trust. So I was more apt to try things that maybe I wasn't entirely familiar with. I was okay to fail. That was completely not promoted, but it expected as part of the process. So I'm so grateful. I owe so much to her just for her even setting that climate in order for me to get to where I am. I had students that were doing amazing things, and I wanted to share them. I wanted to not really have a rigid type of learning. I never wanted to be married to one type of learning, whether it was technology or textbooks or communication, Socratic circles. I wanted it to be a variety. I wanted it to be organic and natural, because in real life, you're not going to have one set type of things. You need to learn adaptability. So that was kind of why I started bringing in more and more technology in order to allow them to be adaptable and work on my own adaptability. And they took it and ran with it, and it just blossomed from there. So I'm now an educational technology coach, like you'd said, for Fort Worth ISD. It's right outside of Dallas, if you're not familiar with it. And I service campuses from early childhood to 8th grade.
Wow. That's amazing. And I'm so coming from Tattoo. Thank you so much for joining us. And she loves the day of silence. And Jenna is here. Thank you for being here, Jenna.
Yes, so the day of silence was something I promoted, a student-led classroom. So it started off small. And when I say student-led, I mean they were truly leading, guiding, creating the classroom. I started with blank walls. I didn't put up decorations. I didn't put up designs. I didn't have a theme. I wanted them to create the theme for the classroom, because that's really what's going to inspire them to feel at home, to have that relationship foundation. They're not going to really care if I have cute border, or they don't care about that. They want it to be something of their own. So I encourage them to help me design it. They brought pictures and mementos from home. They really made it their own space every single year. So it was a student-led classroom, which is difficult to kind of break them out of that compliance mode, because we teach them so strictly to be compliant. And by, I want to say the second semester, early mid second semester, my goal was to get to where they didn't need me. They were just running the show. They knew what to do. They knew what their learning goals were. They tracked their own learning in their binders. They knew what was next. They knew that if they mastered something, where to go next. They knew to resolve conflict and to peer review. So they were truly this well-oiled, beautiful, precious little machine that I was able to just sit back and kind of facilitate and chill. So I had a day of silence, like Tatul was saying, where I didn't talk at all. They were completely on their own. Of course, if there was an emergency, I would step in, but there was no need for me. They handled everything from technology to scheduling to getting themselves to the correct classes to conflict resolution to shaping their content for the day, reviewing, even tracking their own data and growth. So I didn't do anything or say anything. It was so fun. I just kind of walked around filming, and that was my own part for the entire day, but they did an amazing job.
Oh, I love this. Coming from Casey, student love learning. Yes, exactly. I think somehow, like I was under the impression, because student paid tuition, so I really have to talk a lot. I had to give them everything inside me, but that's not an effective way for them to learn and for me to teach. So I love this day of silence. I'm going to copy this idea. I really love it.
Go for it.
Yeah. I still, as I introduced you earlier, you have such an amazing online presence. I wonder if you can share with our live audience how this super active and strong digital footprint of you is helping you or changing your professional career.
Definitely. Well, to start with, I probably wouldn't be in this position that I know I wouldn't be in this position if I had not been so transparent, whether it was with my own personal learning, my professional learning, my students' learning. I was very transparent. So I shared what I was learning. I shared my failures, my strengths, things that I just thought were pretty cool that I think might be beneficial to others. I was sharing, sometimes just blowing people up with information that I wanted to really knock down those walls, like you talked about, really breaking down those walls. I wanted us to have a global classroom, and I wanted myself to be a global learner. So that has benefited me tremendously, because now I get to do these awesome things and shape these campuses on a larger scale. And I love it. It's an amazing position I'm very blessed to be in. As far as how I kind of continue with the social media posting, it always goes down to purpose. So whether it's Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, it is all about purpose. That is really what I try to start with, even when I'm training other educators or students about social media. What is the purpose of it? Yes, it's a tool. And yes, Snapchat can be scary, and so can Instagram, and the Kardashians, are all over Twitter. But at the same time, what is their purpose for it? So it all goes back to the purpose. And I think that if educators really use the tool for the purpose in which they're intending, they will make their own results.
Exactly. This is so true. I remember when I just started, I think probably Jerry in the audience can relate to this. I was like all over the place. I didn't understand my why. I didn't understand my value. I was chasing after every single shiny object, and I didn't know why I was on a particular platform. So it is so important, especially if you want to have a strong digital footprint and you want to make your voice really clear and people understand what you are doing, what is this, your brand. So that's a really great point, understanding your purpose. I love it. And also I want to tell people in the live audience, if you have a question for Jacqueline or just want to hop on to say hi to us, please click on the Be Live link and to join us. And we love to have you to interact with us live. So Jacqueline, your official title is an education coach or education technology specialist, and you help educators incorporate social media into their classes or technology or talking about pedagogy. So I wonder if you can share with us, what are some challenges that you observed or encountered during your coaching service and that have prevented educators from incorporating digital media devices into their teaching or educational experience?
Yes, there have been challenges for sure. That's part of growth, and that's part of stepping outside your comfort zone. When it comes to the number one challenge, I think is that fear of change. It is hard to change. It's scary to change for everyone, whether it's students or teachers. And teachers dig in and they resist, not all, but you have those occasional ones that have no interest in changing it because it's fine the way it's always been done. And we expect our students to constantly change and adapt, and we can give them new stimuli and they can respond with a positive attitude, and we expect that of them. But we often forget that when we are in the student role, we still need to have that same response. We need to be able to be open-minded, have a growth mindset, be able to approach it with a learning lens, as opposed to immediately digging your heels in and saying, I can't do this. So that has been a real challenge. Like you had said, understanding the why is a huge challenge, because if you are not educated on something, you can often view it as, why should I try this? Why should I change this? How I combat that is always relationships. It is always relationships first, whether it's your students, whether it's clients, campuses, staff. You have to start with a relationship. Otherwise, you're a salesperson to them, and that's not going to get you anywhere.
Wow, I really love this. And I think this cannot not only be applied to the educational setting, but applied to social media. In social media marketing, we discuss relationship first. Otherwise, you are just a salesperson. You said it so well. So I wonder, how do you cultivate this relationship with educators? What do you do?
Well, I listen first. I want to know their needs. We're all human first, and we all have, and then we're educators or parents or sisters, brothers next. So we have these human needs that translate to the other roles that we carry in life. If I'm working with a teacher and they are illogically resistant to change or really angry about suggestions, there's a reason why. It's normally not because of me or because of the idea or the tool that I'm trying to introduce or to train. There's something else. So you want to always make sure you're connecting as a human first. So cultivating those relationships, you have to put your ego to the side. It does not matter how many degrees you have, how many years of experience you have. get down in there and show them I'm not just saying that I care about you and your students and your goals. I'm showing you that I'm here to help you, whether it's sitting with your class while you go take a bathroom break, or pulling a small reading group for a couple of kids. Start anywhere that you can. Meet them where they have these needs that are stopping them from growing and stopping them from connecting, and attend to those and attend to them with that human side so that you can build on top of that. And I almost enjoy those relationships that start that way, because those are so strong. Once you show them, I care about you and your goals are my goals, they are loyal and they will follow you blindly. They're so connected once they do open up.
Yes, this is so true. I just feel like everything you shared right now can be applied to social media marketing like 100%, like listen first, and like kind of, you mentioned, like be a human, like I think that's why I love doing like live video using Snapchat, all those platforms to humanize who I am, to shrink that between teacher and students, the power distance between teachers and students, and to show them that we are humans just like them. Yes. And I love this comment from Jim. I don't know why it's now showing on my Beeline. It's showing on Facebook. He was saying that fear, like fear of change. And he sees that a lot in small business owners. And it is so true. Like even for me, it took me quite a few years to really eventually embrace social media and Snapchat and live streaming, all those things. So what did you do, Jacqueline, to help people overcome that fear? Especially like being in front of camera, like what I'm doing right now can be very intimidating. Even for me, every time before I go live, it's like, you can do it.
You gotta pump yourself up.
Exactly. Yes, this is okay. So like, how do you help them overcome that fear?
There are several reasons. Definitely start with the connection and the support and looking out. We have something that it's scary, but you know it's going to satisfy something that you need. So let's look at this need. Let's look, are there any other possibilities that we could maybe attack first before trying this? Work them there. Don't push them out there and say, good luck, have fun with that. Really be a coach. And that is checking in, and Tool said building a community. That is incredibly powerful. That is a professional learning community. I'm so lucky that Tool is a part of my PLN. He and the others, Past the Scope EDU, which I know that you've been able to hop on, and we're so lucky that we've had you these past few months. That's been very powerful. There are times where if I try something and I'm scared, I can reach out and I can have almost my own personal coach that's going to help me through whatever it is that I'm trying to attack or whatever task I'm trying to accomplish.
Yes, like Tatu mentioned, creating a community, and this is so important. You were talking about personal learning network and community, and the longer I am on social media, the more I see the importance of like having a community, having a supportive network. And here is a question from Thumber, and and asking like, do you find there's an age difference when it comes to technology?
No, I don't. I think that, well, let me correct myself. Sometimes it really comes down to mindset. I have some older teachers that maybe didn't grow up with a cell phone, but they have a mindset not of this is new, it's scary, it's bad. It's more of this is something new, cool. Maybe this is scary, but this can be good. It's a tool. They're able to see it from more of a macro perspective. So they're not focusing on I don't know this is new to me, I don't understand. They're really kind of looking at the bigger picture of how can I apply this? How can I learn this? How can I take this and fit it into something that will be beneficial to me? So it really does come down to mindset.
Absolutely. And my dear friend Jerry just gave you a big shout out. Yes, she is.
Oh, thank you so much.
Jerry himself, he's an amazing educator, teaches at UC Berkeley Extension Program. So I have lots of respect for him. So coming from him means a lot.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I want to continue to challenge, as we were talking about fear right now, I really want to challenge people who are joining us live to click on the Be Live link. Okay, I challenge you to join us and to ask a question or just say hi us. Okay, Jim, he is going to join us in 10 minutes. We'll be waiting for you.
Join us, Jim.
Yes. So I love what you wrote in your Twitter bio, empathy-based practice. I really love it every time when I see the word empathy. So can you please elaborate more on this? What do you mean by it? And if there's any connection between empathy and education technologies, is there any connection?
Oh, 100%. Empathy is a part of everything that we do. It is beneficial in all realms, whether it's marketing, social media, education, communication. It's a part of everything, and it's beneficial, and it should be a part of everything. So empathy sometimes has kind of it's a soft, feely sort of stereotype to it. I don't really want to use the word stereotype, but when I first heard the word empathy, when it came to regarding other fields, I thought, okay, well, maybe it's more of a on the counseling side. But empathy is powerful, especially in design practices, design learning models. You need to be able to set aside your own bias, your own stereotypes, your own opinions, and truly put yourself in the needs of someone else and feel what it is they're needing. When you are a coach, an educational coach, you have to do that. You have to be able to say, well, I don't understand why you don't want to have a Twitter account. You have to be able to understand. You can't shut that avenue and say, well, I just don't get it, so that's dumb. You really have to understand people if you want to be able to connect with them and help them. They have their own reasons. They have their own things that they're bringing to the table. You need to be able to take that baggage and accept that and work with it in order to help you both move towards your goal. So empathy is incredibly powerful when it comes to the design model, the design thinking, having an idea, especially in marketing, what your customer, what their end goal is. You need to be able to get in there and understand that and then kind of work backwards. So it's very powerful.
Oh, this is so true. Also reminds me of my own personal social media journey. When I started using social media, I was just mainly using this. I still see this among many educators as a way to do self-promotion. I have another publication, I have this, I have that, which we all do. But I think it is okay to a certain extent. But social is like two-way street. You have to think in terms of your audience and to really be in their shoes. Like how is they going to benefit from this piece of content? Yeah. I love it. Yeah, you are just like dropping so much value today, Jacqueline. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me. I love doing this. I love being able to connect with you here.
Yes. And my next question is, a few days ago, one of my dear friends tagged me on a YouTube video in the video, and they were asking us to do a very interesting activity, which is to Google schools or universities make me feel. Like, I really encourage everyone join us live to try this. Open your Google and Google search schools or universities make me feel. And the results are very depressing, and the suggested words are like depressed, sad, unhappy, anxious. I was like, wow. And then a few days ago, I saw this article on Times Magazine saying that like depression numbers and even suicides is like among students are increasing sharply, and schools simply couldn't keep up. That really broke my heart as an educator to read articles like that. And today we're talking about, technology and how we can use technology to reimagine education. So do you think technology can, or maybe not eliminate, but reduce some of the issues that contemporary education is facing, or not at all, or making the things worse? So what is your take on this?
Well, I think that technology in all of its forms is a tool. So it really depends on how you use that tool. you wouldn't use a pencil to hang a picture on the wall. You would want to use a hammer. So it really does depend on what that task is, if that tool is going to be appropriate or not. What I do think, or how I think it fits, is giving students that power and that voice, that control over being good citizens of what technology they use. So how I found technology to be beneficial when I was in the classroom, and even now, students sometimes when they feel that depressed, that boxed in sort of just forced compliance, almost institutionalized, they feel they are just a cog and not an individual. So giving them that opportunity to use technology to connect with others that are like them, or others that can give them information on things they might be interested in, can foster more of a sense of self and a sense of purpose. And that is where that builds the connection to, okay, well, school isn't something that's mandatory that I can't stand. School is an opportunity where I'm going to have the chance to connect with people that like what I like, or can give me more information about these things. So it's incredibly powerful in that situation as a connection tool. Again, it goes back to that human aspect. It's so valuable when it comes to connecting the human parts in us and really making students and educators and really anyone, you're shrinking the world, and you're shrinking the globe, and you're able to connect more with others.
Yeah, just like you and me, we never connected in person, but we have been interacting with each other online. And I'm so excited to see you in 3 weeks in Texas, for our conference. And it's just like so amazing how much technology has brought us together. So on the flip side, are there any like potential like risks or challenges? Recently Facebook, the scandal, all those things involved in using technology.
Definitely, 100%. There are always going to be challenges. One of the stories that I use anytime I present on social media is I got stabbed in my arm with a pencil when I was in elementary school or junior high, because someone was using a pencil as a bow and arrow. And my hand got stuck in the crosshairs. So a pencil is a fabulous tool that will do fabulous things, but when used incorrectly, it can also be detrimental to the lead that is still in my arm. So it really does come down to purpose and how you're using it. And of course, you want to model and teach your students how to be good stewards of technology. What's appropriate, what isn't, but not just what is and what isn't. You don't want to give them a list of do's and don'ts to memorize. You want them to truly look at the purpose. Why is this good? What is the benefit? Why is this not something we should be doing? What's the consequence? So you really want to have them dig deeper and look at the purpose as opposed to just memorizing a list.
Oh, that's such a great answer. Like recently, I think starting last year, there was that New York Times article saying that, like, I think when an educator made an argument that she was banning like all sorts of digital devices in her classes, no laptop, no whatsoever. And then I also read articles like schools, they ban like cell phones. I was like, no, I think banning technology is not a good way to handle this. Just because you hide this thing doesn't mean this problem is going to go away. You have to, as you mentioned so perfectly, to let students experience this and draw their own conclusions. And that's the best way to learn. Yeah.
I worked in behavior before I stumbled into education. And one of our sayings in the behavior analytics world was, you can pick the weeds all day long, but it's not going to teach the flowers how to grow. So essentially, you can punish those bad behaviors, or you can reprimand or try to squish those, but it's not going to help increase what you want. So you really do have to cultivate those.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. We speak the same language. And thank you so much for joining us, Maria from Spain, and Suzanne. Don't worry about it, and you can always catch up on the replay. And Brian, thank you. Yay. And I cannot wait to connect with you in person in a few weeks. And this is so amazing. And Jacqueline, and this is another comment from my dear friend Jerry. He was referring to the comment you made earlier regarding empathy. And I really feel like many times, people make this argument like technology makes you cold and don't know how to engage in interpersonal communication. I really don't think so, and I really think they kind of go hand in hand. Do you want to say something regarding his comment here, or?
I definitely agree. I think having empathy is a part of every aspect of your life, whether it is, if you're driving down the road and someone cuts you off, you can get mad and you can react and honk and, flip whatever hand signals. But ultimately, you can also have empathy and think, well, maybe there's a situation that I don't know about. How can I understand them more as a human? So really having that empathy can benefit you, and it just brings more of a peace of mind to all areas of your life, because you do have that initial empathetic response. So that's really beneficial. And
absolutely.
And it does connect that human aspect, because like you had said, there can be a cold side to it, but it really is what you make it.
Exactly. I think technology is like everything else in our life. In Chinese philosophy, we discuss the yin and the yang. So technology is the same. Everything, food, everything, regardless how good the food is, there is the other side. You just need to embrace it and learn from it and use your judgment and have a balanced approach. Yeah. And, oh, wow, this is awesome. Yes, we should definitely do a live show when we are at the conference. Yeah.
Oh, that would be so fun.
Hey, Brian, you want to click anyone who joined us late, and there is that Be Live link. We are about to wrap up in 5 minutes. So there's that Be Live link. If you want to join us to say hi to Jacqueline or myself or ask a quick question, I want to challenge you to click on that Be Live link. And
you can do it.
Us. Yes, you can do it. We were talking about fear. For those of you who just joined, I highly recommend that you check out the replay, because Jacqueline shared so many great points and can be applied to not only education, but social media marketing. And she was talking about listening, be a human, and many great things. Oh, I saw Brian in the lobby. I'm having some, he disappeared.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, yes. So we are about to wrap up here. If you have last minute question, please type in the comments if you don't want to join us live, which is totally fine. And so what is one project you are super fired up about right now, Jacqueline, and how can we help you to move forward?
I don't know if I have one project that I'm working on. Hey, Brian.
Hi, Brian. So great to see you.
I have to change my headphones because I was listening to you on the phone, so it's a short delay on there.
I love this. I want to just do like a big group high five. I'm so excited to see you guys both in a few weeks. Yes.
Hold on. Let me take a picture. This is super cool.
Oh, yep.
That's awesome. Thank you for joining us, Brian. Do you have a comment or a question for Jacqueline?
Oh, and now I see it on the phone. Actually, no. Actually, yes, I do. I appreciate the truth that you actually are speaking, Jacqueline. Many people miss the empathy piece that should be there. Actually should be at the forefront of your communication and your interaction when using social media. That is something that we're trying to capitalize on the Captain Kindness show as well. But the other piece that I wanted to comment on was you mentioned, and now I just slipped my mind. Hey, there's Valerie. Goodness, you mentioned something. Oh, well, I forgot it. That's my old age.
That's okay. That happens to me daily.
Every minute. Yeah, for me, yes.
I can't remember. Something resonated with me in regards to, you mentioned about how many educators are beginning to use the social media platform for self-promotion. And we're finding the argument to be where they are doing it so much they forget the why they are in it in the first place. How do you combat that? Well, it's not something that you combat, but how do you emphasize the importance of staying true to your purpose and your why while you are trying to build a brand and promote what it is that you are doing?
That's such a good question.
That's a great question.
And I think that because this is something that I think about in a couple of different situations, it's popped up in the past couple of months in my mind. because there are things that you want to do and promote, but at the same time, I think, what is the purpose of this? What is the why behind this promotion in the first place? And I think it's very situational, and it depends. It's definitely on a situation by situation basis. But anytime that if I personally am in that situation, or if I'm working with someone that maybe is kind of unclear in those muddy waters, taking that step back, looking at the macro perspective of ultimately, what is your end goal? What is the goal? Is it promotion in this aspect? Is it to hit this learning goal? Is this promotion going to help you get to your learning goal? So just really, what is that big picture idea? And then helping them navigate their way to it.
Okay. We'll talk a little bit more about that when you guys get to Texas.
Yay!
I really love that answer. Yeah, I also think, Jacqueline was talking about this. Really put yourself in the user's shoes. Think about yourself as the person receiving the information. If you are like, I spend lots of time on social media. If every day I'm just bombarded by self-promotion, that is too much. I think we should all learn, like, put ourselves in the user's shoes. Use social media as a channel to serve, to offer value to others, to make our education, learning, society, humanity a better place, not just like as a channel to engage in self-promotion. But that is kind of my personal take. Yeah. Valerie said, great question and a great answer. Yeah.
We love Valerie.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much, Brian. Do you have
guys.
any? Yes, great. Look forward to seeing you.
All right.
In a few weeks. Yeah.
See you soon.
See you later.
Bye.
So that's great. Yeah. Anyway, we are just wrapping up here. If you have some question, please type in the comments. Okay. And Jacqueline and I will get back to you later. So last parting piece of advice, Jacqueline, and how can people discover more about you?
Well, I have the same handle. Yes, I love that, Suzanne. I love that comment, celebrating others. You want to make sure that your celebrations are organic, that if there are things happening around you and people as a part of your PLN, you want to celebrate and promote them. And I think that all goes back to that relationship piece.
Sorry to interrupt. This is a great comment from Valerie. And
yes,
you never know who is going to comment on your post. The other day, I made something about influencer marketing on my Facebook post. I was just making a comment, and then that post brought quite a few big names to my post. I was like Mark Schaefer, and then some others like, oh my God, like you never know. Like I just hope I didn't say anything offensive in that post. But you never know, like, which post is going to be picked up and who is going to view the post. So that is everything you put out, you are building your personal and digital footprint. Be really careful. Yeah, but sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's so true. And in fact, it was comments, and I don't remember what it was, but Valerie is kind of our Pass the Scope leader. And so we were in a Voxer group chat, and she had mentioned something a few weeks ago about something with promotion. And I remember thinking, okay, so it was just a domino thought effect of promotion, and then the why, and then the end goal, and kind of working my way through what we were discussing. So she was kind of a great instigator to help me look at things differently. And she's just an awesome educator as is. So thank you for getting those wheels turning, Valerie. And then as far as the, oh yeah. Good.
You are like, next time you have to join us. Okay. Next week.
Yes. So I am at JROSE_EDU on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope. You can find me on all of those platforms at that same handle.
And one parting piece of advice.
Gosh, if I had to narrow it down to just one, I would really, honestly, I'm going to go back to the empathy. Anytime you can incorporate empathy, it is not that it's not hard, but it is, the opportunities are so plentiful. They're everywhere. Whether it is watching something even now, or you are talking with someone on your drive home, just examine your first instinct when it comes to things and try to replace that with empathy as a, well, maybe they are, and then XYZ, because you don't know. And it's a good way to kind of knock your own walls down and knock your own confirmation bias down so that you can connect with others on a more human level.
I just love it. Like, I think the true power of technology is to bring humanity, bring people closer and together. So I absolutely love that comment. I think this is a great way to end today's show. Just want to give a quick shout out to my dear friend Bracken, and we went to Maryland graduate school together. And so thank you so much. Yeah,
awesome. for joining
here. Next week. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And Jacqueline is just amazing, and you shared so many great insights, and I learned a lot. And I cannot wait to watch the replay myself and to learn more and write a blog post recap. And thank you so much, everyone. Please make sure to follow Jacqueline, and we are both going to be speakers at the Texas Social Media Conference on April. So if you want to see us more, maybe not, but if you want to check out the conference and click on this link that I shared, Brian shared in the comment section, and please come to see us, or maybe share the conference with others. And thank you so much. I appreciate everyone. And this show is every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I hope you can join us next week. And if you don't mind giving my Facebook page a review or a like or follow, that will be amazing. And thank you so much, Jacqueline, again. And thank you so much to our live audience. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Bye.